So I'm inspecting this Honda Fit, right? Well, I normally don't take any inspection videos. I will explain the reason why I don't, because it is a bit of privacy, and it is basically finding problems on other people's cars. And obviously, as you know, people don't like this, right? That's the reason I don't record any videos. And when you do ask permission, some say no, because then you know the car is not great and there will be loads of issues, and that's typically a problem, you know. That's typically an indication. But however, this gentleman allowed me to record, so there's not a huge setup, but just an idea. I already obviously asked permission for, don't need tread plates, he's got road tax already. This is Japanese car import, and I will just go through it. I already asked and viewed the paperwork, like import certificate, service history. It didn't have service history. It's been serviced. A reason for sale. They just want a bigger, on a smaller car, the wife. It's been just registered in January, approximately, from the top of my head. Where did I put my torch? Where did I put my torch? I got my diagnostic scanner already set up, as this is mild hybrid. Where did I put it? So yeah, finally found my torch. So as I said, I have checked all the paperwork, and just doing a battery test. I already took all the pictures from all the way around the car. So the customers will get all 9 pictures as sort of standard. This is premium inspection, structural checks, paint thickness readings, checking for accident damages, going underside the vehicle, 15-minute road test, 2 diagnostic scans before road test and after the road test. But it can take sometimes, probably on this car will be 2 hours, but on a bigger cars it gets to 3 hours. Luxury cars and supercars, 4 to 5 hours. Can drag into, it depends on condition of the car and the situation. The more the issues are, which can be confusing, and kind of needs a bit more observation, not a proper diagnosis to each fault, right? But just to get an understanding of how big of the problem, or precisely how expensive the problem will be, right? If stupid, yeah, wrong button, wrong button. I will apologize for sniffing because it's cold outside and you're moving, your nose start leaking. B, the Japanese battery. 44B 19L. Here we go. The battery is a bit low, but it's still passing the test. Probably a recommendation would be replace it soon. We'll have a look on a diagnostic scan as this is it's a mild hybrid kind of, but it's like, I think from top of my head it's some sort of 100-volt battery approximately, high voltage in it, but it's a motor assist and it's not a proper hybrid. It still has a starter motor too, unlike proper hybrids, right? Full hybrid or parallel hybrid, whatever people call them. So let me quickly start with basics. Checking fluids. Well, it's sensibly clean. I check chassis numbers, you know. I've already done it. On this one is here. Engine numbers subject to if it's sensibly visible. Because some cars like Land Rovers, BMWs, you can't see it. And they're super hidden. And it's just impossible on some cars. Engine number. And this one is very easy. It's literally right at the top. And also, as this is Japanese import, they don't register full engine number. It's just the engine type, LDA and MF6. That's not an MF6 is actually, that's not a engine number. That's a gearbox literally number type, right? So it's obviously most of the Japanese, they're not registered properly, you know. There's most of the data missing on a DVLA sheet, and you will see that on a car history checks, you know. So what I need the keys. This one has 2 keys. I apologize for sniffing. This one has a keyless entry. At least on this one, they left it. They haven't done this stupid conversion, you know, where I will show you in a minute. This is what I hate about these Japanese cars. And most people, for some reason, they doing conversion, right? And then you rather just leave it as this one, right? As you can see, it is in kilometers, right? And however, it's got dials in miles, you know, right? So you rather leave it like that, leave the kilometers and let it count kilometers. They're cheap conversions, right? What they do, and I hate it. Obviously, language will always stay like this unless you need a good programmer who can develop and change the language module or something if it's possible. I don't think it will be that easy. They put on a K mark black electrical tape on it, right? And they call it conversion, right? And that's what I hate, right? So let me do a quick walk around for you. You see, it looks visually looks fine, you know. It's 2012, and basically, I would say it's around about grade 4, 4.5. Interior is clean too, you know. As you can see, you know. I mean, it's not clean. Has been registered in UK and used. It needs mini valet, so let's say, right? But visually, it looks very, very presentable. Let me take a picture now. No, I have already done it. Now you understand what I don't like about these Japanese conversions, right? So, and what else do I need? Gloves.
I wouldn't. That is an actual vibe.
Good shocks, right? But everything is nice and clean. Headlights not broken. Oh, the structure looks nice and clean. This seam sealer as it should be. Everything looks like no one has been tampering all this. That's what you want to see.
Jackie, get your seatbelt on.
However, it does look to me as it had front repair, you know. But as far as I can see, it's been done to the insurance standard, you know, but it does look like it had repair. As this seam sealer has been applied too much on this side, which indicates a repair. We'll go on the side and have a look, but as that headlight looks newer than this one, as this one lens starts to deteriorate. I can't see the dates on these ones properly. However, let me dig deeper. Let's go on and check with the coolant. Yeah, I think they replaced this support. Well, I can visually see front support, but you know, with the crash repairs, there is always something will give out something, you know. As I haven't even started paint thickness measurements, right? I'm trying to do the liquid checks. And like I said on a car history check will only show if the insurance company has decided to write it off. It will never say you never had an accident. You know, that's just that if it's never been written off. The reason I'm testing the antifreeze condition is just to understand the condition of it, you know. That normally indicates if the consistency of antifreeze is too low, then it means indicates somebody's been putting the water in and then it dilutes the liquid down. You know, this one is -23, you know, so to me, I have no issues regards to that. You know, you still have to start worrying about when there is -7, the freezing point, so that means it's diluted, you know, or it's literally just there's no protection from freezing. It means there's a pretty much a water in there, right? It's diluted to no protection. And another thing why I don't normally take full videos on of inspections, because as most of the people think it's just a health check and a quick fit, right? by not what do you call it? By taking videos and talking nonsense, right? When you are distracted, right, you can miss something, right? And this is on your ethical and professional standard. So that's why I don't take the videos, because every car every car is different. Every car has issues, some confusing stuff, and you need to concentrate. Sometimes environments are not great, right? Sellers all over you, watching you, right? You know when they're hiding something, you know, in a shitty area, you know, environment where you feel, yeah, something is not right. Brake fluid, great. Oil good, coolant good. Let me just measure what just above minimum the coolant level is, and these ones, because they operate on a vacuum, they exchange things, so that when it gets hot, especially when you open, that could slightly go up. And sometimes I had it where there's a head gasket issues. So let me do diagnostic scan now. What else I do, I will show you. When it comes to structural, and another annoying thing is obviously the radio, right? In Japanese, so while the diagnostic is booting up, let me show you. Wow. So you can check for them on a seat belt, the dates, you know. So obviously if you wanna be so dodgy things around, you can order and put exact dates if you want, you know, or get second-hand ones, you know. But obviously you just go, I just check on these ones, on some of them there are dates on so basically checking the seatbelt dates, it just gives me an idea of if there has been crash, if all the dates are the same and matching manufacturers, right? Manufacturer's date, then and these seat buckles as well, there's a date, it's 2012, so everything sort of matches, so that it gives me an indication you haven't had a serious crash. However, obviously it can have serious crash because, let's say, the vehicle was stationary, right? And then obviously you will not change the belts, right? Because airbags didn't went off because the ignition was off, you know. So there's some signs, sometimes, not always, your seat belts an indication, right? Same as on a glass, on a vehicle glasses as well, there is a dates on it. However, it doesn't mean you couldn't have, you might have a vandalism, right? And they replace the glass. So it doesn't mean something bad when a date on a glass is different or something like that. You know, same as you could have a front windshield replaced because of the chip. So that happens like on on some cars in 10 years, maybe five times in lifetime, you know? So there's nothing you can do, that's life. So it's not always things are bad. So but you take everything in consideration, right? Like hinges, marks on the bolts. On some hinges you can see also the year on it. Also, this is not forensic. I'm not doing forensic investigation. If I can see dates, it's good. If I can't, good too, you know? So rear seat belts, all the dates are matching the registration year, and all the months as well I'm matching. So I am happy. Oh, passenger side left. The buckles are fine. This one is on his manual. Let's see. It doesn't have any. Sometimes even sellers, they say they don't have service history, but you find it in a glove box, right? But this car has everything in Japanese language and no dealer book, right? As you can see. You can see me. And the system as well. It has Japanese unit both, so it picks up few radio, right? I think this has already been replaced somewhere, because this is not Honda Fit or Jazz, this they call it Honda Fit. What is this? That's some sort of Bluetooth, I guess. And this has been, I think, fitted in Japan, looking by the radio. Yeah, always in Japanese language, so I would just leave it. It seems like it has a sat nav as well. I don't understand anything on the Japanese. However, it could be actually factory fitted, you know, but it doesn't look like nice now. Started nice. I forgot to check gearbox fluid line. Okay, let me check the lights. So it warms up a bit. So, oh. This is why I don't like to do a video, right? As I left the multimeter on. As you've seen, that's why I don't like it, you know. But exception. Stupid rain is coming. That's so good. So let me check the lights. And then I will show you diagnostic process. Japanese spec normally is quite high, you know, you've got folding mirrors and keyless entry. Fog light is done nicely. In Japanese there will be no fog light, they don't have this requirement, but it's been fitted. Let me check the mirrors, working fine. Oh, the volumes are working. So what else do I need? Okay, now we can turn this off. Turn the car off. Put it in reverse. We'll check the brake lights. So also you do all the boring stuff as well, which is sort of health check, health related. However, you have to do this boring stuff. Just to see if he's got the lights on, you know. Reverse light is on. This also has a rear view camera. And I'll just check the number plate. They are working. So let me get a camera closer. So as this one has keyless entry, so I normally do EOBD check, just a basic generic first. Right, so I'm looking, reason why I do go in a basic first, it gives me gearbox modules and engine modules and airbag modules, and and I can see obviously when the fault's been cleared, yeah? And this one 124 kilometers ago fault's been cleared for some reason, I don't know, and we will ask the seller. And now we have bloody rain and it ruins the video. So it's true a warm-up since the fault clearances, right? So I mean, it could be just something honest, it could be no. We'll see what would be the seller's explanation, the reason. So that is the first part of the scan. So now we're going to go to OBD scan. Read the VIN number and we'll do the other scan. So now we can get this car started. Wipers are working fine, washers are fine, so you see, you have to do this boring stuff. And then I do the reports and I add the information about the mileage, fill in a form. That's another what takes time. So normally you do the inspection, then another hour, half an hour is to do the report. That's why people get in the report in 5 hours. from starting the inspection, so everyone receives notifications when inspector accepts the booking, when VIN numbers are matching the ECU, you know, and the vehicle chassis number, so that's good. So that means no one's been fiddling with the ECU. Sometimes you can have a clone car, but on a clone class you will have some cars you can't see the VIN numbers for all the ECUs, but mostly on the newer cars you can now see all the chassis numbers and all the ECUs, and clone cars will not have same VIN numbers and ECUs, so it's pretty much impossible, you know, once you check that. So I'm running low on this battery, which is annoying. So yeah, so now I do hot function. I'm checking the mileages on some older cars, it won't read it. Then I will have a look on a high voltage battery, what's the health of charge and what is left. The kilometers are sort of matching. However, these older cars, like all Japanese older cars, they're quite simple to go to clock it, right? By looking on a Japanese import certificate, the kilometers are fine. And looking by the condition, the wear and consistency, and the condition is consistent with the reading and the wear on a vehicle, right? So that's one scan, and then obviously after the road test to do another scan. The road test is 15 minutes on a standard and premium inspections. So it takes a bit forever on some cars orders when they don't have a CAN network to on this one you can have a look. Cell voltages, sensors, the failure is not detected. Failure has not detected, so the battery is fine on high voltage battery diagnosis. That's always good. Obviously I have had these Honda Jazz, Honda Fits with degraded high voltage battery, you know. But normally when you will drive, you will see it will fluctuate that digital reading there if you pay attention closely. But obviously average consumer will not pick it up, you know. So we're doing it on this there. .9 kilometers in you can always have a look, obviously, and do the calculation. What was the average fuel consumption, and then compare it online, you know. If you checking cars, then it'll give you an idea. This one reads a bit differently. You need a conversion, 12.9 liters and I think an hour or something like that. It's not on 100 kilometers. I will try use my phone. The battery on that camera is, it looks like it's just dog shit, you know. I need to buy a new one. old technology battery dies. I actually haven't used it for a long time. So while this is scanning, let me start. I will be able to show you paint thickness measurements. Okay. Let me start with that. And just do a zero calibration. Cool. Where's my phone? So my phone will register all the readings on my app. So we have 3 faults now in the body electrical. So just add the car. Let's start. Paint thickness readings, right? I normally start with roof. It gives me the benchmark, right? So it's 120 microns, right? This is what I'm kind of expecting around a vehicle. There could be some deviations. Now every car reads, sometimes some newer cars, the roof is slightly thicker, especially the rear section. Okay, there are some exceptions. I will not go too much in detail. There's so many cars and so many variations, so many paints, so many layers. So the thicknesses varies. But general guideline is between 100 and 150, right? And I think after that you have to check, understand what the car is, right? But on these standard paints, water-based paints is 100 and 150 microns. You can see average. So let's start. So the front bonnet is 120 as well. So this is 120 as well. Okay, here we go. This has been sprayed at 180, 160. So this door has been sprayed. So I will then check off the correlation of that front damage there. So now when you start getting resprays, you start getting a bit worried. So this is around 134. I think this will compare it, but I have a feeling it's been sprayed too. We'll compare what's going on the other side. We have to consider deviation to the paint thickness gauge, plus minus what, 10 microns. These things are not perfect. So we're literally running low. So while I'm checking this side, corrosion on the boat. Let's take the weather strap off. Check the weld point. Check then A-pillar readings. Everything seems to be fine, yeah? 80, 90. Nothing serious to me so far. Hello. So there's nothing too bad being with the... Yeah, he had a front crash, definitely. And the wing has been, to me, looks like it's been replaced. The job has been done to the, like I said, to me it's insurance standard repair. You know? If you not know, you're not gonna know. You're never gonna know. As much as I can see. No quarter panel has been replaced, at least up to this point. So far, to me, the accident wasn't serious, right? I think this wing has been replaced. So left B. When I'm gonna go underside, I will understand what's happening with that. Then I will be able to more judge how significant that accident was. But to me, it wasn't significant. As I said, all the seat belts are in date. A-B pillar readings as well is in 80 microns, right? 80, 90, this is what you would expect it to be. Also, some people can say, what I'm looking, you know, even if it has been repaired, right? As long as it's been repaired to the state where I can't tell, or I have to guess, the repair has been done to the very high standard, right? And especially for visually, I can't see any imperfections, right? C pillars as well as an 1890, so then I consider that as a good repair, right? And sometimes, if I'm so confused, I will not even mention it because as it's not always important. Because if I can't tell, no one else will, right? Especially like the average mechanics, they don't do this, they don't understand it. So you need to understand crash repairs, understand it, done it yourself, and where to look for, you know. Like on this one, the average person would not tell it's had a crash. Even average person with paint thickness reading, you need to understand sometimes it's confusing, you know. If you not trained your eye, you know, you will miss things. Or if you're gonna measure it, you're not gonna understand it. You'll just confuse yourself and tell the seller incorrect information, you know. Sometimes you got switches not working, doors opening from outside, not opening from inside. Child locked on a luckiest scenario, you know. Some stupid stuff. I call that stupid stuff. Forgot to take steeple readings. You see, this is what happens when you talk. I have seen some Japanese crash repair videos, right? And to me, what I have seen, even insurance standard repairs, you can see where the repairs has been. Their repair standard is not great. Obviously, most of the repair standards are not great, to be honest. What I'm looking for. The floor is okay as well. When you know normally where they can cut, you know, so you know where normally cuts can be. So you look for those areas, you know. Okay, let's get to the rear fender. This is around 140. Let's check the seal. It's all good, 100. So it is kind of a bit of pearl wine. Not a standard. Ah. That's not good. Falling out from hands. These areas are okay as well. So you're just looking for seam sealer thickness. Compare other sides and spot weld sections. If they are same length between. Go. So yeah, both sides are the same pattern of how the paint was applied. So it's in certain areas 140 as well, so I'm not particularly worried about. Yep, this thickness here can get up to 140 in this section. Some areas 150, so taking deviation of the gauge, I would say up to 190. This 130. Let's check this door. 130 as well. So it's got the same spray pattern, so I would say that's not being sprayed. That door and that quarter panel as well, not being sprayed. So the quality standards on the paint finish and how they've been, the paint has been applied, it varies. Especially I noticed that from the Japanese cars. So let me apply this on the right quarter panel. The readings. That's 110. 100. Front right has been sprayed. There's a thickness tube high. So it confirms my suspicion as the front had a repair and they replaced the brackets on the front, you know. That confirms that, but however, what I can see, the way the repair has been done, it's been done to the good standard and insurance standard repair, and I don't have so far any significant concerns. But you never know until I go Underside. You know, this is what you get. Great car, you see it, you never know. And then once you get the information about everything, you can make a decision. Do you want it or do you don't want it? It's safe or not safe. It's totally down to you. But it leaves you with the choice if the inspection has been done right and you have paid for the right inspection. You know? Most of the options what you can see in the market, they premium service is our standard level service from CarExamer, right? Because you can't check the car in 1 hour. Most of them, when you're paying for 1 hour inspection, you can't check it. You can, you just miss loads of stuff, and you're not gonna get as a customer required information. You know, you will be just a part of it, and because you look in the cheapest deal like everyone else does, and you get the cheapest shit. You know. So now, that's 120, this has not been touched as well. Let me get some panels out now. So while I'm checking what's going on in the boot, this obviously high voltage battery is here, you know. This one is quite easy to pull out. Let's see if you had a shunt. understand that there's a crimped area. Because these stupid Japanese, right? Japanese cars, they don't have bloody not cross member, but X frame, right? The crash bar, simple crash bar. All these sections. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. You see, they normally don't have a crash bar, so when somebody crashes, it damages this section here, right? And so this one is quite easy to put it back because it holds on our clips. Everything clips back nicely. So let's go further now. So let's move on this side. Hope the rain will stop. Let me save the photos. Save as PDF. Let's check this C pillar. 173, 92. So once all these ground checks been done, so you leave the car running, right? So while I'm measuring everything, the car is running for about 40 minutes, an hour. Seal is fine. When you get confused, you know, you always just check the door readings, you know, that will give you an idea of what should be C-pillar readings, you know. It will be not too far away from what you should be expecting on all pillars, right? They vary between like 50 to 90, 100, you know. And when those thicknesses not right and jumping, you start paying attention where the quarter pound has been replaced. But normally they will give out on a paint thickness, overall thickness, where your spot is being resprayed, right? So this one is easy to see. And these are spot welds, everything is fine as well. There's no evidence of as here obviously you got final finish coat, and here inside always is just a fine a very fine coat on it, like a prime coat on it. Spot welds are fine. Everything, no evidence of messing about. as well, 90 microns approximately. So when you analyze the car like that, you know what you're doing, you can pick up a lot of stuff, especially the bad workmanship, right? And when you just go through the areas where they normally cut in quarter panels. And sometimes obviously you could have a whole section replaced, right? Like this whole section replaced. Which is rarely what insurance company will approve. Only probably on a new car. Let's take this strap off. Everything is clean. So let's have a look now. What are the faults, right? Body electrical free, open shortcut to the control motor circuit. Lost communication. So this is what we have. I will clear them off and see what happens. And then I obviously normally I take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. And then on a second I will have a look a bit more. What it is at the moment, you mobilize lost communication with gauge control. AT message. We'll have a look afterwards what they mean. Let's have a look in our live data if there is any let's go CAN network. If there's any live information, but it looks like, because this is body control. I don't think I'm gonna get what I want to see in a live data freeze frame. Not on this car. Oh no, there it is for the transponder. Yeah, they're all in a body control. There's no freeze frame, but I have details what it could be. It gives me possibilities of what these faults could be. That's in the climate controls model. Line open. Got the AC on. Okay. It doesn't have freeze frame data. Now the sun is out, the rain stopped, the weird weather. So now I want to find EMI system powertrain. Let's see what's going on with them. Here's the battery. Then I need to complete these doors off. Come on. Engine coolant temperature good. Usable battery capacity, state of charge. Let me show you. So I'm in IMA module, so high voltage system. As you can see, state of charge is 60%. That's what normally be around like. And IMA battery, high voltage battery, 75% usable capacity. So that's still fine. General wear and tear. I normally check, because this one is less to check. You can see the isolation of high voltage, 400 kilo ohms, and I'm going to look for the temperatures so they be near enough equal resistances and voltages on the cells. I look to be equal. State of reset. There's no details. DC. So voltages. So look for the, as you can see, I'm a high voltage battery module. So look, so they are equal, right? Currents. These sensors, for some reason, are reading -1. That does make sense. So this is how the time goes on inspection. It takes forever on all the cars. Diagnostic live data to load, right? Fuel and everything else is okay. So total voltage is 111, as I said, roughly around 100, 111. No weird resets. Temperatures are good too. So far I'm okay with that, we'll see. So now I have saved these faults and I will clear existing faults. Okay, there's nothing in there. That's good. Now I can exit this section and I will complete off the paint thickness readings where I left it off. The roof was 120, bonnet 100, no, bonnet as well 120. So normally these doors are a bit higher, 130, 120. Considering this paint, everything is, there is a bit deviation. But all is consistent on this both sides, so got no issues with them. And this front bonnet, as I did the correspondence check, it's 190, so this has been resprayed. I can see it from inside, so they're both been replaced and resprayed. That side is near to the factory respray standard. So 126. So this is Resprayed as near enough to the original thickness. Yep, 140. So this, like I said, it's been replaced. Normally these are 50 microns, right? So let me save the data. Left front door. There's imperfections. Yep. In this wing. So the repair has been done as much as possible to the high standard. So now I can download the report and add it for the customer to view. Let me show you how it looks. I don't think you can see it. You can see it. Approximately, right? Just an idea. So I will put this one on for a second. Both legs has a matte slight original to the spray, but the front section doesn't have that. So what's going on with the cooling system? That went up. Thermostat is open, fans are on. That's good. So this is what happens when you leave it running. So this is gonna be nice and hot, fully ready for me for the road test, right? Let me check now. Gearbox oil. Oil is nice and clean and transparent. Exactly what I want it to be. Oh, it looks literally like new, you know. So now another thing on Japanese cars, right? Even the tires, as obviously they will be same standard, they might not have a stupid European Mark E rating, which requires to be sort of safe to use in the UK. Pads are completely worn. These are Japanese ones. And it doesn't have. So normally, obviously, these are older cars, 10 years and above. You don't need IVA test registered to the to be taken to the Volsa. you know, and this would be obviously fail for the VOSA certificate. Any car newer than 10 years needs to go through that. So with the older ones, you can get away. So that means you don't have to convert anything, you know. You don't have to convert anything to be road legal, and until your police stops it and issues that certificate, which you're not allowed to move the vehicle, use it on the public roads, right? I forgot the number of that. Let me just mark condition of the tires. All right, they're not road legal for the UK. Spare wheel it doesn't have. Locking nut. Yeah, Japanese cars mostly don't have any locking nuts. However, the tires 6mm. This is obviously branded tire Dunlop, right? But obviously it doesn't have, because it doesn't. Obviously, most of the Japanese tires are made in Japan, right? I mean, I'm sorry, China. Obviously, this is made in Japan, but obviously they make it for their own market. It makes it cheaper because you have to pay to have the C mark, right? Safety mark on it. Also, the tire is the same tire, you know, Dunlop, as it would be in EU or anywhere else. I can't remember what Dunlop was. I think Dunlop was a Japanese manufacturer. I can't remember. And Bridgestone is. Brakes. I think it looks quite as original as new. Brake discs are as new. Everything here looks as original. The spray inside and the wheel arch area, you know. So what's going on with this time? Again, doesn't have E-marking, so it needs basically new tires. And these front pads. Pads 1, let me just type in. So I'll just type in report as well. These are drum brakes. So let me take pictures of alloys. And there's some other rust spot. Some light scratches, age-related marks, and just to pick up if there is any imperfection. Sometimes you can get to the manufacturer thickness, right? And sometimes you can pick up some imperfections. So that's fine. This is not. This is little scrapes, chip again. In line with age and mileage, nothing to worry about. This tyre, this wheel arch, also is fine. All tyres are 6mm. So now I'm getting to this side. This side is more, the left side is more worn than the right side. And even pedway, but the brake discs are fine. No scoring, no corrosion. All Dunlops, but no E markings. Let me add some prices. But we can pick up some sensible tyres for 120. Especially if we get a good deal, bad deal, then buy no 4, then 2. Let me add good area pictures for the report. So far needs 4 tyres and front brake pads. 4 times 120 and brake pads 120, so 480, £600 so far. Now it's time to go underside. What I like about smaller cars, I can only jack up one side and check everything. Let's do that then. Let's do that. So I have my patent pending technology, right? How to check suspension. Everything is like on a new car. This to me is like a visually. Here's some imperfections. Well, you know, this is the life of buying. It was 2012, so 15-year-old car, you know. Now 13-year-old car. So we'll check the ball joints. Everything underside is like on a 2-year-old car, you know. Perfect. So now get off the ground rear section. a bit more. And you lift it up with the jack this way. Let's see any play. Everything is. I guess the shock absorber pliers. Everything is as new. And that crease, that's how it's supposed to be. You should fold on an accident that on a valance, in a valance wall. From top it look weird. So let me take some more pictures which I haven't took for the alloy wheels. Hope it makes sense what I'm doing here. If you use too long, you may switch it off. On the smaller cars, it's good so you can easily jack it up one side and check whole underside. With big cars, I have plastic ramps, so I just jack each corner on the, let's say on a Range Rover, jack each corner, right, and check the wheel suspension, and then I'm going underside. Right? There's these ones are things are less painful. Rest it on a jack stand, on an axle stand. The car's been running for some time, everything is hot. So on my leg, quite a bit of corrosion develops. I think that would be to do with welding it. But on a Honda's normally on the front there is surface corrosion developed. It's a very annoying thing. So all this leg section everything looks okay. It doesn't look like I've been different type of spot weld where they have replaced with a section in the areas. Gearbox, no leaks. Excellent. Okay, let's have a look what's going on this side. This area. Same corrosion. Not as much. Engine clean as new. Not a single drip Honda, you know. This chassis leg and spot weld, everything looks, both sides look the same. Spot welds, seam seals. Nothing dodgy. Corrosion protection seal equal on both sides, so I'm happy about that. No corrosion on any brake lines, as much as you can see. Oh, the seal area is nice and neat, and some perishing rubbers on a track rod end, and mobile link moving fine. Yeah, on this side, on that like there is a corrosion, but much less. So Technically, if you want to really investigate further, then you would really need to remove all the plastics down. Yeah, to me they look replaced already at the bracket at the front. Part of it, I think. Oh, yeah, got nothing to worry about. So they replaced the front radiator brackets. No, that side is fine. And the strut tower, that's fine too.
You need to wait till that tree again, please.
So, he had the repair, it's been done to the good standard, and I have no problems with that. So, what exactly and how much front replaced? Yeah, whole front radiator bracket has been on the front being replaced. I think there must be a foam in it and it's missing from here. And here we had some shunt in it. Here's a slight the rear bumper I think has been replaced at some point. Yeah, and there is a crack as well. So somebody's been playing about. He had some shunt here. Because on this section is quite a kink zone. And this is all because they don't use crash bars, you know. They got crash bar sections on each leg, but crash bar doesn't go around it. This is stupid, you know. He had a very gentle shunt. The bumper repaired in a few areas. Repaired here as well. So, he had a very gentle shunt at some point in the rear section, very gentle, which I have no particular concern. So, let me just move this car now to this side. So, it's off the curb. So that's fine, I'll jack up this side. So this side just left. And that's pretty much then done. Road test. Suspension check. Slightly perishing, very gently. Lower arm, rear bushes. Otherwise, everything underside is excellent for the age. Check the rear. Apologize for sniffing. Just for the reference, just gonna show you the underside. So you can see what I mean. We'll leave that for just for the curiosity. So as you can see, there is that like little shunt, if you can see. See? Everything is as new as it could be for a 13-year-old car, right? So see, a bit of the dry wax, the coating. Look at that, look at the steering rack. See, this is what I mean. See the suspension. This is Japanese seal sections, exhaust. All the joints, see? Literally no corrosion, right? So you see, that is the difference. Dirty, bashed head, typical. Compared to 10-year-old or 7-year-old Japanese car in the UK. That is one of the Japanese pluses, right? Minuses, as I said, Japanese language, Japanese radio. Let me move things away and get ready for the road test. Getting everything away, getting ready for road test. On a bloody this white on white paintwork, it's hard to see imperfections, you know. And a red, two most shittiest colors to view any imperfection, you know. Do a last glance on the bodywork. And today the daylight color as well is a bit weird. Sometimes in the dark and with some bright light, it's so good to see imperfections, you know. Slight rust chip there. This one has road tax, so let me just move the cars around. Just get ready for the road test. So let me do a walk around video for the customer, and a bit windy. My name is Klaas. Your inspector today. Inspected this jazz for you. It's from Japan, as you know. It's going to be a bit windy. Regards to overall, vehicle is in a good condition so far. For the age of mileage, I added what it needs. It needs tires, front pads. There's nothing major. It is a bit windy. Regards to bodywork, visually it looks good. Alloys are good. There will be few stone chips. There would be a previous accident damage, which is done to the good standard, and I don't have any too much issues with it. This section has corrosion chips, one on this side and one on the other side of the vehicle. Interior everything is clean. I mean, with wear and tear is clean. Regards, it needs full valet. It's a bit dusty in it. There are a few marks, scuff here. It had an insignificant rear shunt in a boot, in a valance floor, because of Japanese cars, they don't have a crash bar. Regards to resprays, rear bumper had some repairs to it. Respray. Rest of it is fine. That headlight at some point has been replaced. He had already the support replaced. To me, that's what it looks like. But everything has been done to the good standard, and I don't have any issues. There's a bit of surface corrosion developing on both legs. That could be cleaned up, especially on this one, on a both one. But it's kind of common on Japanese when you're driving. It gets all the moisture, water, rain, everything there, and it's starting to corrode. Regards to on this wind, respray quality is good. It's just on this section here is imperfections I noticed, and there's some scrapes, and there's a few colored up touch-ups for this on the chips. That's pretty much it. Usable battery on a for the mild hybrid is 75%, and 12-volt battery suggesting at some point replace. It's not failing a test, but it is getting low. There has been some fault codes which are, we'll check it on another after the road test, and we'll have a look how significant they could be, or if I will not find any information on their insignificant nature, I will not mention them. That's pretty much the vehicle. Everything underside is good. Some general wear and tear on the front lower arm bushes. They're perishing, but they're still fine. This headlight deteriorating, the lacquer sort of coming off. Otherwise, so far I have nothing. There's no major reason to reject this vehicle for a 13-year-old car. Thanks for using us. Any drivability issues, I will add it in a report for you. So now I am ready for the road test. Alright, let's go for the road test. AC is working. Hot air is working. That is good. Let me turn this radio off. Heated seats are working. Apologize for sniffing. Okay, too hot, getting too hot. Let's go. Could do a bit of tracking, you know, not exactly perfect. Which way are we gonna go? Let's go this way. manage to get in the area, you can just get the speed where you can get. Sometimes you have to do naughty stuff and be sensible. It's just a reality, you know. This area is not that bad as I managed to do what I need to do. You know, drives in a good manner. Normally I turn everything off, all the radio. I prefer Scylla not coming with me because they normally talk, you know, and I want to concentrate to be everything is quiet, you know. The mirror is loose. And it's not secure properly. They talk and it's annoying to concentrate, man. At least when I'm on my own, I can get the directions right where I need to go. So after this traffic, we can go back. We got 8 minutes to go back. That will make it 15 altogether. I hate when they put in like 12.1 kilometers on a liter, the fuel consumption. Why can't you just put a normal measurement, you know? 12.1 kilometers on a liter. Oh, stupid, you know. But yeah, as I did the video about the accident, the repair's been done to the good standard. It had happened at some point in lifetime. Those are way not recent repairs. Those are been done insurance repairs in Japan, you know. And it is what it is. Done to the good standard. Average person would never tell. That's where we can end this discussion. It's just at least you as a customer, you know, and you can make a rational decision. Do you want it or don't? It's just simple as that. You know, it's just a yes or no you want. The most cars at this age would have some bodywork done. You know, it would have some sort of accident by nature, you know. It's just it's life. It's like you fall on a pavement, trip on a pavement and break your hand or something, you know, or you got fracture, you know. But you've been done to the good doctor. As long as you've been done to the good doctor, or not somewhere under the bridge, you know. I guess that's what matters the most, you know. You can see, yes, the headlight one has been replaced because that's newer, that's older. There is a bit fine. You can notice a bit fine, like a flat spot. But as there is no service history or anything like that, you know, more likely you would need to replace all the filters, fuel filter, spark plugs and oil, you know. And I will get back, we'll do another diagnostic scan. Suspension is good, drives, feels as I would sort of expect it for a 13-year-old car. Obviously it does feel like a 13-year-old car, you know, it's nothing you can do. It's just by nature certain things would rattle a bit more, you know, like interior plastics, trims. It would always give out that sensation of a 13-year-old car. So what we got here, if it's charging okay, you know. So we've got 5 minutes left. Less, 3. Advising tracking, yeah, the steering wheel is not perfectly straight on. It's just annoying. all systems. So we've got a 6-speed gearbox. 5. A rear view camera is working too. You know, to me, it just reminds me, yeah, these Hondas has this little sort of flat spot, so I would consider that not an issue. Just remember, when you drive them, just not go with weird sensation. But I will double check why this 124 kilometers ago fault's been cleared. Otherwise, the vehicle drives in good manner. There's no reason to reject the vehicle, in my opinion. Vehicle is in good condition for 13-year-old car and for 93,000 kilometers. So that's 60,000 miles, coming up to basically 60,000 miles. Not yet 60,000 miles. Would be 57, let's say 57,000 approximately. Wow, this is scanning. Let me just move my car, park this car on a drive. So, I don't want to do that. It takes a while to scan. %75 left on a high voltage battery, so I've still got a few years to go. Okay. Let me just go to Moon's car. Yeah, car probably in the bumpers has a bit shade difference, it's very gentle, but it's fine. No faults came back. Let me take a picture. to add it in a report. This is what I want to see at the end of the day. If you can see if there's no reflection, you know, no faults, some issues on a car, genuine, you know, no structural damages, had some insurance repairs, had some accident in the past, done to the good standard. At the end of the day, it is a used car, gives you a choice, and this is what you get from proper premium pre-purchase inspection from CarExamer. You know, anything else, any other options on the market is just waste of time. You know, you get potential repair cost estimates, advice, opinions, you know, and our premium inspection, our standard inspection is other options available in UK day premium inspection, right? So spend money wisely, know from who you're purchasing, and because this job can be done by qualified technician, right? It's no good when level 2 technician who has no experience or somebody without qualifications does some sort of health checks. You can do scratch reports for somebody. Like most of the auction so they're like BCA, let's say, approved, right? As an example, they are done by unqualified people, you know, because technically, by nature, no person with qualification would walk in an auction doing scratch reports or those stupid health checks what they do, which is not worth the penny, you know, because this unqualified person normally does the job. They don't have qualifications to pinpoint major issues or issues with the vehicle, you know, and that's why it is paramount to be done by fully qualified technician. And however, because most of the qualified technician has attitudes, right, and they classify this job as a second class job, you know, like second class citizen job, and they will not do it because they just think they are the best technicians, you know. That is the problem. And none of the technicians will work for that sort of money what like auction sites pay, or what, so let's say, what Quick Fit sort of pays, let's say, for instance, right? They're just not gonna work. You know, good mechanic will not work for shit money, and that's the problem. So that's why you're not gonna get a fully qualified technician on inspections, rarely. So, but however, as I have founded this platform, I only work as fully qualified technician. I have a blueprint created. They all go through online training, right? So they all know you're not gonna find technician in this country normally. When you do qualifications, whether you do just bodywork and you are just an ape on anything else, you know, what's the point sending somebody on pre-purchase inspection checking bodywork, or he's an ape and doesn't know how engine works, right? He doesn't know anything else too much, you know. That's the problem in this country, you know. When I graduated in a college, you learn everything, you know, bodywork, gearbox operations, theory on everything, you know. And then obviously once you choose what you're going to do, whether you're going to be a body shop guy, panel beater, you know, obviously when it comes to the respray, we haven't been that's the section you don't learn. If you want to be when you want to respray things, that's a different thing, you know. Anyone can pick that skill up, you know. Just you need to learn the technology, right? But I'm getting too much into it. However, you know, most of the inspection options where you can get somewhere else offers you 1 hour inspection. So in that 1 hour, you can't do nothing, right? So we'll leave it as that. Take care and buy good cars.